Every so often, a new technology comes along that just feels different. It feels like a fundamental shift, something that could really shape our future, kind of like the internet did. Well, today we're going to dive into one of those technologies, blockchain, and we'll see how it's getting ready to completely redefine our digital world. I mean, just think about that for a second. What if we could build an internet that wasn't based on servers owned by a few giant companies, but on a foundation of pure, verifiable trust? An internet where we, the users, are in control, not some single company. And look, this isn't science fiction. This is the real promise at the heart of blockchain. And this gets right to the core of it all. Think about your day-to-day life online. Sending money, sharing a photo, logging into an app. Almost everything you do forces you to go through some kind of middleman. But the question is, does it really have to be that way?
Right now, our entire digital society is built on trusting these central institutions. We trust our bank to keep our money safe. We trust Google with our private emails. We trust our governments with our most sensitive information. But that model puts a ton of power into the hands of just a few. And honestly, it creates these massive single points of failure. Okay, so this really shows you the huge difference in approach. On one side, you have the system we use now. It's centralized, controlled by one company, and you have to just trust that they'll do the right thing. It's vulnerable. But on the other side, you have the blockchain model. It's spread out, it's super resilient, and the trust is literally built into the code itself.
So how does this new system actually work? I mean, how can you possibly have trust without someone to trust? It all comes down to a completely revolutionary way of recording and verifying information.
All right, the most basic piece of this whole puzzle is, well, the block. The absolute simplest way to think about it is like a single page in a massive shared public notebook. Every single time a transaction happens, let's say you send some money to a friend, it gets written down on this page for everyone to see.
So here's how it goes down. First, your transaction gets recorded in a new block. That's a new page in our notebook. Then, that block gets locked to the one before it using some seriously complex math, some heavy-duty cryptography. Think of it like a unique digital fingerprint and a super strong padlock, all rolled into one. This is what creates that chain of blocks, a blockchain. And finally, this new super secure block gets sent out to thousands of computers all over the network, and they all have to agree that it's legit before adding it to their own copy of the notebook.
Now, this whole process creates a system that is incredibly secure and almost impossible to mess with. So what's the secret sauce here? Well, it all comes down to the power of having that network spread out everywhere. This security really stands on three powerful pillars. First, it's decentralized. There's no one server for a hacker to target because that notebook, it exists everywhere all at once. Second, it's cryptographically secure, which just means those digital padlocks linking the blocks are basically unbreakable. And finally, it's immutable. Once a block is verified and added to the chain, it is set in digital stone. To change even one tiny detail, you'd have to solve an impossible math problem and convince thousands of computers all around the world to accept your fake version. It's not going to happen. And this quote just nails it. It really captures the whole paradigm shift. Instead of putting your faith in a bank's security team or a CEO's promise to protect your data, you're just trusting math and the agreement of the entire network. The trust is literally baked into the system. Now look, when most people hear blockchain, their brain immediately jumps to Bitcoin, right? But that's like hearing the word internet and only thinking about email. Cryptocurrency was just the very first thing built with this powerful technology. The potential goes so much further than that.
I mean, just think about the possibilities here. Imagine a world where you and only you truly control your own medical records, or a voting system that's so transparent that fraud just becomes a thing of the past. Think about being able to instantly prove you have a college degree without having to call the university, or tracking your food all the way from the farm to your plate to know it's the real deal. This tech could even create truly transparent governments and fight corruption at its very source. And that all leads us to this really big idea. A decentralized internet built on blockchain could completely shift the balance of power online. Instead of these giant corporations owning and selling our personal data, we could own it. We could be the ones who decide who gets access, and on our own terms. It's a vision for a much fairer, more equitable digital future.
But okay, as exciting as all of this sounds, we gotta be realistic. The road to this decentralized future, it is not going to be easy. There are some really serious, fundamental challenges we have to figure out first.
You see, the very thing that makes blockchain so strong,
the fact that it's unchangeable is also its greatest weakness. I mean, what happens when the software has a bug? In a normal app, developers just release a patch, they fix it. But on a blockchain, those records are permanent. A bug in the core code could lead to catastrophic, irreversible losses. And writing perfect 100% bug-free software is one of the hardest things to do in all of computer science.
And that leaves us with one last really powerful question. Even if we can solve the insane technical challenge of building perfect, unchangeable software, what other hurdles, social, political, might stand in the way? The technology might offer us a new way to trust, but actually building that future is going to take a whole lot more than just good code.